The world often says we're not enough, lacking skills, education, or strength. But what if God sees our weaknesses as the start of something extraordinary? This is the story of a woman who, in her weakness, did the impossible. Gladys Aylward wasn't a theologian, nor was she a missionary by the world's standards. But through her faith, she became a light to a nation. Born in 1902, Gladys Aylward dreamed of doing something extraordinary. But her path wasn't easy. She wasn't a gifted student, and missionary societies rejected her, deeming her unqualified. Despite the closed doors, Gladys's heart remained set on one goal: reaching the lost. So, in 1930, with little money and no formal training, she set off on a journey to China, alone and determined. Her journey wasn't a simple one. In 1930, she traveled across Europe, Russia, and the vast Trans-Siberian Railway, facing delays, dangers, and uncertainty at every turn. As the train rattled through Siberia, Gladys clutched her Bible, whispering prayers to silence her fears. Was she really capable? Was she making the right decision? But with each prayer, her resolve grew stronger. Her faith became her only guide. In China, Gladys began working with an existing mission. She took up the demanding role of caring for orphans and spreading hope. In rural areas, superstition led families to abandon or even kill twins, believing they brought bad luck. Gladys fought this horrific tradition, rescuing countless children from certain death and giving them a home. Her love for the forgotten and the abandoned became her greatest mission. One night, she found a shivering girl abandoned in an alley. She named her Hope and promised her a family, a promise she kept for hundreds more. In 1937, the Japanese invasion shattered China's peace. The orphanage where Gladys worked was in jeopardy. Her greatest test came when the Japanese army closed in, and she was tasked with leading over 100 children to safety. With nothing but her faith and the strength of her love, Gladys guided the children over 100 miles through dangerous mountains. They walked for days, dodging soldiers and surviving on little food. Through every obstacle, she relied on nothing but her faith in God, her Bible as her guide. They reached safety, every child safe in her care. By 1949, as the communist forces gained control of China, Gladys was forced to leave. But her mission didn't end there. She moved to Taiwan, where she continued to care for orphans and refugees, helping them rebuild their lives in a foreign land. Even in her later years, struggling with health problems, Gladys remained faithful to her calling. In 1951, she returned to England for medical treatment, but her work never stopped. She inspired countless people, both in China and abroad, with her remarkable story of faith, courage, and love. Gladys Aylward passed away on January 3, 1970, at the age of 67. Though her physical presence was gone, her legacy lives on in the lives she touched and the story she left behind. Her life shows us that God can use even the most unlikely people to do extraordinary things. Gladys Aylward's story reminds us that faith, no matter how small, can move mountains. If her story moved you, share it with someone who needs hope. Subscribe for more tales of courage and tell us in the comments, what's your impossible dream?